In a world where zombies have taken over, will our daring heroes survive?
Well, if you can settle for average Joes based out of Kentucky, USA, then Project Zomboid might be what you're looking for. Welcome back, players, to another Looking Fat game review. With Build 42 slated to come out anytime now, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about if this game is worth picking up or revisiting. Developed and produced by the Indie Store, this open-world survival RPG was released on Steam in 2013 in Build 11. Currently, the game is in Build 41, with Build 42 coming soon this year. So, should you check out Project Zomboid? Project Zomboid is the outlier of zombie games. But why? In doing some field research, I noticed a common trend amongst the other zombie games. They all have airs of being an arcade-style game or are just a straight-up FPS. Zomboid is just built different. It's a game about the long run, about how long you can survive in a world with dwindling resources and an increasing amount of the dead coming to eat you. The world is devoid of all other living people. After all, this is about how you survive an apocalypse. If you're too much of a coward, the game does have multiplayer, which helps subdue the feelings of abandonment, but not by much. The isometric top-down view really lends itself to that feeling of panic and stress, and what it may lack in beautiful graphics, it more than makes up for in all other game mechanics. From fishing, vehicle maintenance, carpentry, metalwork, first aid, farming, electrical, and so much more. When you first decide you want to play, you choose where you want to spawn, and you're met with my favorite screen in Zomboid:
Character creation!
But in this game, it's much deeper than just what do you look like. You get to choose your pre-apocalypse profession, your job. Want to be a mechanic? Go ahead. Want to be a burglar? I won't judge you. Go ahead. Want to have just been a guy who was flipping burgers? Go ahead. The cool thing about your profession is that it'll give you certain skills and experience boosts for certain skills depending on what you choose, which will help influence the parts of surviving that will be easier for you and the ones that will be harder. And after you've chosen your profession, you get to balance the perks. So every perk, negative and positive, has a total points allocated to it. And to choose positive perks, you need to choose some negative perks. I love this part because you can define further who you were before the apocalypse hit, and it really lets you design a character build you like and one that you find super interesting. The perks also carry different modifiers for moodlets, skills, and experience gain. For example, smokers need cigarettes to take away depression, whereas non-smokers can read books, magazines, etc. But smokers won't die from chain smoking 250 cigarettes in a high-stress situation. Everything carries a good and bad. It'll take you a while to find the perks and profession that fits your playstyle right, but it makes for some interesting builds and some super fun playthroughs. You can train every skill in the game by just playing and using the coordinated action with the skill, but perks and professions will add higher starting levels and allow for faster XP gains in some skills. But by no means, starting as a burger flipper means you won't be able to hotwire cars. Eventually. So, something I think that gets looked over a lot when people are researching or talking about Zomboid is the sandbox settings. There is a few presets you can choose for challenge runs, like the you have 1 day difficulty, but other than that and the obvious ones like changing the population count for zombies, you can get in and tinker with stuff. You can set it to start 2 years after the apocalypse, or change all the loot spawns to abundant so it's like the outbreak just happened. You can get so fine with the detailing and setting options, you can change how much gas your car uses, how much noise the car makes, and how attractive the zombies are to how much noise your car makes. There could probably be a whole section in this video for the modding community in this game. They are wonderful. Basically, if there's a mod you want, there's a mod that exists for it. To list a couple of my favorite mods, I always use the Only Cure. It allows you to cut off your hand, your forearm, or your arm in case you get bitten to avoid infection. But now you have to play through the game with no arm, hand, or forearm. There's even a mod to add NPCs to single player. I play with a ton of Steam Workshop mods just to add challenge and quality of life to my playthroughs, and you know what? Sometimes I'm feeling a little spicy, and maybe I want to fly a helicopter. This has been a Looking Fat game review. Thanks for listening. We'll see you around.